All Moors are active, never passive. All Moors are active, never passive. Before I nationalized in 2007, I used to wonder why Moors talk like a reverend. God drew Ali like a religious idol, and that I have to listen to them cause they're the station or title. Moorish pastors active, Moors actors. God drew like a parrot and they're the parrots. On the shoulder, repeating everything, never doing. Constantly trying to stagnate the movement. Drew said new Moors will come with eyes wide open, seeing and knowing, not the kind hoping. Move up from belief to faith into fruition. Couldn't answer my question, but you want me to listen. When I mention H.L. or Taj to Bay, they dissing, saying Moors are on a suicidal mission. Moors told me I'll get locked up, don't follow Taj. The sheriffs have authority with a 6-point badge. Don't follow Nature Bay, he's not a Moor. But when I watch his classes, he's saying much more. When I mention Dawid Ali El in Mecca, if words could injure, that Moor would be on a stretcher. When I mention Elihu, they say he lied too, but they always say Circle 7 is the Moors Bible. They engage me, so I say they do. Didn't want me to be on the lessons that I drew.
Same people would sit around and say, you know, these crackers stole everything, and these crackers don't have nothing if it wasn't for us. But then we'll sit right around and turn around and say that we are taking from them, from them.
Passives get mad when I call them out, asking where's the unity when I call them out. My union is to the prophet and Allah that sent him, not the temple Moor sheik wanting my attention, begging me to follow UCC 1 on the straw to get me on the contract when I wasn't before. They don't even care about void ab initio, still saying the African Moors, the Scipio Africanus. Prophet saves us since Pan-American Conference and all the passive nonsense. This is not the Islam pushing bomb threat cards. True Moors are part selling part.
We are the original Masons, okay? Not the European. Yes, they did take it and conquer the world, okay? But that's not theirs. Masonry does not belong to the Europeans.
My mind just won't stop racing. My mind just won't stop racing. My mind just won't stop racing.
Mind racing, thoughts pacing back and forth and back. Many that rap thoughts are whack. It's not hard for me to see when I hear their tracks. Probably have the Biggie blunt raps and weed next to the crack. Plus scared of facts, claim to be conscious, not cognizant that your complexion is olive tone, not black. I come to the conclusion that most of y'all are blind as bats and braille readers, sold to corporate states by the same leaders that sold out messiahs, prophets, and God sense. Most need mental body shops cause their minds got dense, mind got sense. I find it's not too common, and thinking before you act is too foreign. Exchange whack rappers' music, let those frauds walk. Fill your MP3 player with civil alert shows from Blog Talk. Connect back to your nation, stop public servants slaving and hating. Only divine movement can stop your mind from racing.
My mind just won't stop racing. My mind just won't stop racing. My mind just won't stop racing. My mind just won't stop racing.
Your mind's racing cause you're not thinking enough. Too much TV, too much Waka Flocka, too much Wheezy, too much seedless green weed and seedless fruits. Not enough organic hip-hop and breakbeat loops. Not enough old school samples and Orisha candles. I used to be on the corner more than those bums panhandle. Then my mind started racing, had to leave those streets. Like I left dairy, drinking alcohol and red meats. Got with ones in full life, left the dead peeps to be civilly dead, running from pigs with the heat and handcuffs and attitudes. Colored authority figures used to get my mind racing when they called me nigger. Going in my pockets, all my rights they abused. Had to learn hard. Ignorance is not an excuse. I choose to never be abused again. I learned my lesson. I know there's no half stepping with my mental lesson.
My mind just won't stop racing. 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 My mind just won't stop racing.
Let them know. Islam. Let them know. Let them know. Moorish MC order. I'm a round table sheiks. 7 days in a circle and 52 weeks. Dirty Moors copycat and bite the prophet's speech. I'm L without taking a Hajj like Malik. In a group of solo like Raphael Sadiq. Walking over rappers like stepping over a creek. Exposing you dappers, dressing like Greeks. Showing off cheeks, thong wearing whale freaks. Suck like a leech, I'm the nerd you kick sand on at the beach. Verbally your face I stand on, I'm back to teach. Learn a lesson as the piano soothes your mood. Lyrical weed, beat brain food, you turn God. Applying what I speak, the truth, they burn and lie through their teeth. Denationalized, jack for all your supplies and knowledge from the high priest on the mental highs. Bringing you light, giving you sight, close your eyes to pray. Get shackled at night, now they're giving you trite. Tales of ox, feed of pigs and soup. You've been bamboozled, tricked, had and duped. Won't fight your own fight, but you join their troops. Killing others around the world just to stay out the news. Won't fight your own fight, but you join their troops. Killing others around the world just to stay out the noose. Let them know. Use the mic to let them know. Let them know. What up, brother Hanif? Use the mic to let them know. This is like Jurassic. They got your birthright. Knowledge is light. They calling you black and you're calling them white. Your name's Mikael and they calling you Mike. Earth shadow is the darkness, they calling it night. Sodom and Gomorrites are called gays and dykes. False education appears real, they calling it fright. Chic on this beat, you're calling it tight. Effects from the roach blunt, calling it heights. With a razor blade on my line, I'm cutting your kites. Rapping blood clot dummies, worry about scuffing the nights. Feminized in tight shirt, showing muscles and ice. Deals, got 'em acting like the three blind mice. Rhyming for nursery, laying clay for Andrew Dice. I'm pro, you're Joe, the beat is spike. Can't take my flow, you hope I ease it right. I keep it coming like food and ackee, peas and rice. No coleslaw, or tonic roots please, no Sprite. 5 cents for a bag, yo I don't need it alright. 65, 35 fam, no need to fight. Studio time paid with knowledge, time to leave the mic. Let them know. Use the mic to let them know. Let them know. Use the mic to let them know. The truth about nationality and birthrights.
Yo,
let them know.
agenda to the T, that massive. Ready for the Gideon, Babylon with my shit. We give them what they want, so them want come stash it. We're ready for tech back with things and lash it. Unified is the camp, nationality, your stamp. When we dealing with the land, we talk attaching this man. So, who the white man, who the black man? When the law was written by the brown hand. Inspiration from a universal realm, so to distort the realness and tape the film. Keeping world under lock and key. Yo, cameras everywhere watching me. Check it, claim of right to be who I am. Public notice from seas to the land. Who's ready to stand? I am in propria persona. To hell with the fiat and the fake money launderers. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. It's time for the people to wake to injustices. Under contract, mind for combat. Natural law, enemies got to fall back. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. It's time for the people to wake to injustices. Under contract, mind for combat. Natural law, enemies got to fall
Let
back.
them know. Use the mic to let them know. Let them know. Use the mic to let them know. The truth about nationality.
Nothing in the sky at all. Then all of a sudden, bam! What is that? Anybody tell me what that is?
We a murder in a beat. Red flag, wave it. Red tag, save it. Red, green, what that means? Moorish lands, bourbon. Who got claim Elbig? Not the name MJ. Lush and green was the porcelain, all pristine and so awful. Know thyself, the father from my hot capstone. Rip the ground, we put it back to top. See some real engineering. Really no Indians near here. Blackstone from the next planet. Still you have no talk, you just a stick faggot. Batman still up in the cave, he got some sick gadgets. Nigga rich run a whole city with no power till apocalypse now. In the door cower. Red flag make a 7 as it raised. A flag above many that has waved. Self I'm here to save. I'm an all-mech, got a lot of lip, chopped up to say back up. You see the black flag waving, red tag saving, red green, that I mean Moorish lands bourbon. Who got the name Elbig? Not the name MJ. Lush and green was the porcelain, all pristine and so forth. Red flag waving, red tag saving, red green, what that mean Moorish lands bourbon. Who got claim Elbig? Not the name MJ. Lush and green was the porcelain, some obscene, some cordial.
I value representation, this flag represents a nation. Collecting information, tracing our roots, not chasing, pacing my progress, doing more, saying less. Black, white, gray, MSF, RPG in our breath. The depth of what we do is best presented by how we grew. What's true is ear of the beholder till proof answers question over. Some call it closure, I prefer to say we open since we still scoping for knowledge and others now awoken. Hoping little to not, prefer work, plan, plot, strategize to maximize the probability. We sock caught between honor and a smart place. The decisions that we make, ripple effects, minor or great, still I appreciate.
Red flag waving, red tag saving, red green, that I mean Moorish lands bourbon. Who got the claim Elbig? Not the name MJ. Lush and green was the porcelain, all pristine and so forth. Red flag waving, red tag saving, red green, what that mean Moorish lands bourbon. Who got claim Elbig? Not the name MJ. Lush and green was the porcelain, some obscene, some cordial.
50,000-year-old ancestral claimant, flag in the ground, hear the flapping fabric sound. Red for the bloodshed or celestial realms, when all you see is fezzes and turbans. Be overwhelmed, standing on the squares, independent and fearless, from lower self to higher self, with no interference. 5-point star is her, we call her Venus. My niggas are Nagas, impropriate persona genius. In 3, 5, or 7 plus, whenever you see us. Moorish national disciples, Prophet Ali and Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius. The same frequencies preceding all man-made religions. Displaying decency, secret teaching of the ages. The heart is where the life is. Osiris is Orion, Horus, Mars, Sirius, Isis. Clear conceptions of your work during a crisis. Rep my flag till I'm dust or the husk is lifeless. Rep my flag, red, green, 5-point star, no gold fringes. Stand on my square, no liberty infringes. No rights violated, no Negroes emancipated. All they know is castrated and decapitated. Red flag. 5-point green star. How far we are? Red flag
waving, red tag saving, red green, that I mean Moorish lands bourbon. Who got the claim Elbig? Not the name MJ. Lush and green was the porcelain, all pristine and so forth. Red flag waving, red tag saving, red green, what that mean Moorish lands bourbon. Who got claim Elbig? Not the name MJ. Lush and green was the porcelain, some obscene, some cordial, tops turban.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, they ahead of my born day. Independence alarm, may civil literal lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. way. I was in a lost state. Prophets stood me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Salt Bay, prepping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it. So the snake's still showing up, the stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for life, the book of Genesis. Astroplane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life. Finish him.
Morris Omar, key man or oracle, using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical, lost and metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic, facts slap a dirty more or a Drew Ali critic, call
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law makes it a little of a lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets stood me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Salt Bay, prepping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it. So the snake's still showing up, the stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for life, the book of Genesis. Astroplane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life. Finish him.
Morris Omar, key man or oracle, using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical, lost and metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic, facts slap a dirty more or a Drew Ali critic, calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved, or cut like a close shave, drowned in my brainwaves, squashed by heat waves, activating Kundalini, Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini, Selassie I in exile, reptile in Genesis, niggas appearing real, all I see is false evidence, DA are feminists, stomped on by elephants, more like no prejudice but want Moorish benefits, when you feel the cold magnetic resonance, Apis horns of the sacred book called Maleficent, great cosmic mothers, return to blessedness, no pestilence, ace all the testaments, tap into remembrance, never to forget again, use energy right, not put spell effects on men, wandering the earth plane with no veil of shades, keeps you a mental slave as the horizon fades, it's been decades since Christian crusades, not enough rebellions, too many vigil bouquets, holding on to the fence, burning on doomsday, war ruled by Mars, it might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?
Salam Moors. Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. And honors to all the Moors present for another Wednesday Q&A session. We'll get right in today because there was a few this week. So I guess the word's getting out. That Wednesdays is going down. So the first question, is this bogus or what? Whoever these Moors are, it seems that they have rewritten the Prophet's 101s. These folks are out here pushing this. I know it's a lot of dirty Moors out here, but damn, I know. A lot of traitors out here, but damn. So we're dealing with the AMPAG people. And they have their little frequently asked questions section. So we'll just go through that. ampagmaxden.org. What is Maxden? It means state or government in Moroccan Arabic, one of our many ancient languages. What's interesting is that these Moorish ancient language people keep presenting stuff in English. Why, if it means state government in Moroccan Arabic, then why don't you just have your whole website in Arabic? Why have Arabic for 2 words, 4 words, 6 words, and then everything else in English? Like, what is the purpose of doing this? If you're saying you're going Moroccan, and Moroccans, because they're not Moorish American, they're Moroccan, right? When you go to Noble Juali stuff, Noble Juali said Moorish American, everything's in English, so every Moorish American could know what he's saying, right? And if need be, he put something in Spanish, and then the Spanish speakers will get that. The average individual who only knows English, they're not getting anything written in Spanish for them. Are we Moorish Americans? No. Moorish Americans are part and parcel of the United States of America. Now, United States of America is not a corpse. United States of America is geographical relative to the states that are in the Americas. United States of America is not some European colonial corporation. United States of America is all the states of the Americas that are united. How are they united? They're united because when you check their flags, when you check their crests, you see that they got fezzes on their coconut trees and all that. You see that none of them call each other black. None of them call each other Negro. All of them identify by their national names. All of them are on the continent of the Americas. The continents of the Americas have many different jurisdictions on them. One of the jurisdictions of the Americas is Morocco. Morocco is above Mexico. So Moorish Americans are part and parcel of the United States of America as far as the map is concerned. Brazil is part and parcel of the United States of America as far as a map is concerned. Guyana is part of the United States of America as far as a map is concerned. Because all these countries, North, South, Central America, all of them know that they're the Americans. All of them know that they're united. All of them know that their countries or governments, which in this day and time, they're going to say state. And we're not talking about NY and PA, and we're not talking about those states. We're talking about the states. We're not talking about the states that you see abbreviated, and then they have a corporate seal, and the corporate seal has a date to so when they're founded. We're not talking about those states. Those are modern states. We're talking about the jurisdictions that have been in the Americas for as long as the Americas been around. There's been people on these land masses called continents. And all the people on these land masses have had their governments before Europeans came here. Are AMPAG, AMPAC, and whoever else, are they Moorish Americans? Yes, they are. Because they're dark-skinned, misclassified people who are descendants of Moroccans born in America. How are they not Moorish American? They're not Moorish American, but their website has the flag of the Moorish Americans on there. And then the 5 points is love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And Noble Drew Ali told these Moors that this is their flag before these people started saying that this is their flag. Before they started playing Moroccan, Moorish, Pradium, Ante, whatever games, where was Alodia, Moorish, Pradium, Ante, Georgia when Noble Drew Ali was around? Where were they at? Did they exist? Did they exist? Why are they, these AMPAG whoever's, why are they going to have a 101 questions and answers for Moroccan nationals, which is exactly what Noble Drew Ali brought for Moors, but they're not Moorish American? Why are they going to have in their questions and answers their public inauguration date of 2022, which means yesterday? Noble Drew Ali 101s, early 1900s. AMPAG 101s, 2022. Noble Drew Ali 101s, 1900s. Who you think has the authority with regard to 101s? These people or Noble Drew Ali? Right? According to law of Sankofa, what are the two statuses of AMPAG nationals? Matrilineal and patrilineal. What is matrilineal status? One whose Moorish birthright descends from their mother. What is patrilineal status? One whose Moorish birthright descends from their Moorish father. That's a lie. Birthrights don't come from males. Why would birthrights? Do fathers give birth? Do fathers give birth? So how birthrights coming through father? How's birthrights patrilineal if father comes from a mother? Father doesn't come from a father. Daughter comes from a mother. Son comes from a mother. Where fathers come from? Fathers come from fathers? No, they don't. Fathers come from mothers. But this is what happens when you let dingbats control the Moorish movement. Dingbats. Anybody talking about their birthright came from their father, they're a liar. Anybody trying to say that their birthrights, their rights at birth, right? Rights at birth came from their father, they're a liar. Don't let these people lie to you. Don't let them lie to you. Because that's all you have right now. Liars. Ever since Noble Drew Ali left form, all you've had is liars coming in here trying to cause confusion, try to deter you from what Noble Drew Ali presented, creating fake 101s, telling you crap. Right? Let's just let you see it for yourself, so you can't say that I'm lying or something. Right? What is the patrilineal status? One whose Moorish birthright descends from their Moorish father. People are full of BS. The only one-on-ones is the one-on-ones that Noble Drew Ali brought. There ain't no one-on-ones other than that. There's no one-on-ones other than that. People are liars. Just pop up yesterday and wanna take control, wanna have some type of authority. You can't have any authority. Only authority they could have is the idiots who decide to go be part of their stuff. They could have authority over them, but these people don't have authority over Moors as a whole, Moors in general. They don't have that. What they're doing is making up stuff. Why do they need to make up stuff when things already exist for them? Things already exist for them. Right? What does the Circle 7 on AMPAC state seal represent? Doesn't matter what it represents. Doesn't matter what it represents. Because like the great master teacher told these Moors, ain't no circle with parts missing. That's not a circle. There's 4 quadrants, but that's not a circle. No Circle 7. There's 7 in between 4 quadrants. There's 7 in between the master's seal. They know Circle 7. Now, if they're talking about taking Noble Drew Ali's symbology, the 7 in the 4 quadrants, and putting it on their seal, but they're not Moorish Americans, they're a fraud. If they're going to take a pyramid with the eye of Allah at the top, with the eye in it and all that stuff, and they don't have any connection to the Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs, they're a fraud. All they're doing is taking what was already created, applying it to themselves to try to look as if they have some type of authority or something like that, when they don't. And all they're doing is playing fame and nobility games that Noble Drew Ali told Moors that there's going to be people jealous of the fame and nobility. And they're going to be trying every weak mind to overthrow the true foundation that has been laid by Noble Drew Ali. They're trying to drag out the true foundation that has been laid by Noble Drew Ali. Why are these people saying that they're Moors? Why are people saying that they're Moors? Why are these people saying that they're Moors? They're Moorish. They're all these things, but they're not Moorish American. When they're talking about our jurisdiction is before there was a Georgia. Well, then you're in the Americas. So if you're in the Americas, then you're Moors. You're Moorish American. You're Moorish. You're American. All this stuff interchangeable. Everybody knows what it means except the dummies. Everyone knows what it means except the dummies. But this is what you're left with now. After Noble Drew Ali transition, sellout happened. And since sellout happened, here we are dealing with all this treason, collusion, color of law, color of authority, everything that's a fraud. Now, this is what we got to deal with. And then the people who are running a fraud, they're going to go out here, charge $5,000, $3,000, $2,000, $800, whatever it is that they're charging for their BS that they're doing. People are going to go get played after they pay them finance for whatever it is that they say that they're selling, and then the stuff doesn't work. Then they're going to get played, and then they're going to talk about the Moors did this and the Moors did that. The Moors took my finance. No, it wasn't. It was those dirty Moors that you decided to go to instead of sticking with Noble Drew Ali is what your problem is. That's the problem. It's the treasonous Moors. That's the problem. Anybody making up something and not tying it back to Noble Drew Ali 100%, putting Noble Drew Ali up front, taking their ego, putting it in the back, shutting the hell up, and letting these people know the truth about their nationality and birthrights based on what Noble Drew Ali told them, they're a fraud. Don't fall for it. Even though people are going to fall for it, because you already know we're just talking to the two in the back. Because the masses are asses, and they don't want the truth. The masses are goofballs, and they don't want the truth. The select few, very select few, are going to want the truth about their nationality and their birthrights. Majority, they're not even trying to know the truth about their birthrights. They're just trying to get out of something. That's all they want to do. Try to get out of something. No, they're going to create some whatever. Right? They're going to create whatever it is. They're going to create. Use all Noble Drew Ali's symbology. Use all Noble Drew Ali's verbiage. Use all Noble Drew Ali's pictures and stuff that Noble Drew Ali brought. But they're calling themselves something else. Instead of just riding with what Noble Drew Ali brought. Why not just ride with what Noble Drew Ali brought? We know that there's a sellout in the temple. And what do we call it? Moor Science Temple, right? We got a temple right now, still, right now. We know that there's a sellout. So what's the issue? Grand Sheik Nature, you think he doesn't know that there's a sellout in the Moorish movement? All the BS that he had to deal with dirty Moors? He called himself Moor Science Temple. So what's the problem? What do you mean there's no good temples to go to or whatever? Stop the crap. Stop it. Don't be fooled. Drew Ali is the foundation. Right? That's the foundation. Noble Drew Ali. Unless it's Noble Drew Ali being put up front, don't take any of these people serious. Noble Drew Ali has to be put up front. That's the only way that this is going to work. I think we're still around. I think we're still here. You know how many people had businesses, had temples, had organizations, had whatever since 2008? They're not around no more. Had law firm, had all types of madness that they created. And all of them put their ego up front. Where are they at now? Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. That should let you know something. When you go check the landscape, Moorish, whatever, and then you pull up Moorish, and then all these goofballs keep popping up with websites and all that stuff. They nationalize people and doing this and that. And then you go on their website, and they ain't talking about Noble Drew Ali. They don't got a picture of him up there. They don't have a section on their website breaking down his stuff. They don't have any of his literature up there. They don't have anything. They're just talking about their selfish self. Don't take these people serious. They're about to play you, or they're about to get you in some mess that after you get in the mess, they can't even do anything to help you. They just let you rot. So don't fall for it. Please don't fall for it. But again, this is just for the two in the back, because very few have the alligator skin needed to go the long haul with this. Right? Majority of these people have skin like a jellyfish. And all they're going to do is burn your skin when you touch them. Not do anything for you, but give you headaches and problems. So don't let them give you headaches and problems with their BS that they're creating, the wheels that they're creating. Right? The wheels that they're creating. When there's wheels already. You know there's wheels already? If somebody pops up, said, oh yeah, we got the Moorish whatever. And then their book is called 101. That should let you know something. If you studied your prophet and you know he brought a book called 101 100 years ago, and somebody pops up today and they say, yeah, 101 questionnaire for Moorish nationals. They didn't even say 100 questions or 99 questions or 113 questions or anything like that. They're 101 questions for Moors. All right. If anybody else has any questions, just put it in the chat in all caps so it doesn't get lost in the chat. Make sure you put your questions in all caps in the chat. The next question. So there's a lot more. I will that you got some clarity with regard to your question. Again, we could sit here and go through the website and all that stuff, but that's some BS. It's a waste of time. You don't need to do all that. They already exposed themselves as a fraud. Right? All we do is just putting the last nails in the coffin. And then whoever's down with them is in the coffin with them as we nail shut these people's casket. What is the best way to study the Moorish movement? The only way to study the Moorish movement is through what Noble Drew Ali brought. Whether that's getting his literature, whether that's going to the temple, Moorish Science Temple of America, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, whether that's finding a Moor who adheres to the teachings of Noble Drew Ali and sit down and talk with them for 5 hours. But the best way is through being given, being told, reading for yourself what Noble Drew Ali presented. So you have the oral statements. You can go read those, because the oral statements, though not presented by Noble Drew Ali, that's from Moors who are around Noble Drew Ali. The Holy Quran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, the Moorish Science Temple of America, right? That's vital. Divine Constitution and Bylaws, 101 questionnaire for Moorish children, 101 questionnaire for Moorish children, but Noble Drew Ali was talking to adults. Moorish literature, which is writings from Noble Drew Ali, letters from Noble Drew Ali, and articles from the Moorish Guide newspaper compiled in one book, so that you have a proper foundation as to what it is that he presented. That's the Moorish movement literature in its most understandable form, without any confusion, what Noble Drew Ali presented. Once you have those and you study those, once you study those 5 pieces, and I know this theme of 5, it should let you know that this is right and exact. Right? And then once you study those, then you could branch out to the next level of best ways to study the Moorish movement, and that's by Moorish authors who put out information relative to the Moorish movement. And the best places for that is that you can get khalifamedia.com and go get all the Moorish authors' books off of that website. Then you can go to rvbaypublications.com, and then you can go get all the literature off that website. And then next level that you go to is all the Moorish scholars of the Moorish movement. And that's the people who have 20 plus years in the Moorish information. And then you go to Canaanland Moors, look up Moor Avengers, and then you get the layout of all those individuals that then you're going to go get all their stuff. So you go get the Noble Drew Ali foundational stuff, right? Noble Drew Ali stuff. That's where you're going to go. That's bottom line. You need that regardless of whoever else you're studying from. You need those for sure, right? The next level is the 2 most important websites relative to Moorish literature. That's Moorish books written by Moors. rvbaypublications.com, and just go to their order section and get all the books off there, and khalifamedia.com. Moorish books by Moorish authors. Study those. Get everything that you can off those 2 websites as far as Moorish literature books. And then you're going to go to Canaanland Moors YouTube, and there's a video on there called Moor Avengers. And that video has a compilation of Moorish scholars that then you could pinpoint all those different scholars, and then you can go get all their literature and go to their websites. And then by the time you go through all that, you should be good to go by the time you go through all that. But again, only the 2 in the back could really assist you like that. Only the 2 in the back. And the reason why we didn't say just go to a temple, just go join a temple, because 90% of the temples sold you out. There's very few Moorish science temples out there that are legitimate, doing stuff right. So you're going to have to fend for yourself. But there are temples out there. Well, you have to go research, go to them, and see how they run and if you're feeling the vibe or whatever. So the story we always tell is when we went to Pittsburgh and there was a temple, and we go to a new jurisdiction, and first thing you're going to do is look up the temple and go to the temple. Majority of jurisdictions that I've been to, when I went to the temple, either it was closed, either the address wasn't that anymore, or like when we went to Pittsburgh, We had to be beating the door down, looking through mail slots and all that stuff to have somebody come out and say something to us. Calling their numbers, the number's not in service and all that stuff. Right? Unfortunately. So the very few temples that are out there, you're not just finding them like that. You're going to get put on to those temples. You're not going to look them up, because when you look them up, guaranteed all the BS is going to come up. And when all the BS comes up, as far as the BS temples, naturalizing temples, reincarnated temples, just church temples, sing hymns to Noble Drew Ali temples, like I said, numbers not in service temples and all that, you're gonna have this vast Rolodex of addresses and numbers that don't work. And we're not in the business of, we're gonna put out there these temples, because then you forget somebody and then they're mad that you didn't mention them and all that stuff. So I'm not even going there. We're telling you where to go. You go check and you see where you're at, if there's some legit ones. If it is legit, great, you found somewhere. If it's not, then everything I'm telling you is right and exact. And at this stage, in the age of information, Noble Drew Ali's literature is accessible to everybody. You don't have to go to a temple to get Noble Drew Ali's literature, because that's really what it's about, getting the literature. It's not like you're going to the temple to go meet Noble Drew Ali or whatever. So all you want is the literature if you go there. There's Moors who went to temples. And temples, right? Temples. There's Moors who went to temples. And temple telling them they can't get Noble Drew Ali literature unless they're a member. Right? At our temple, anyone who walks in the door, whether they're a member or not, you want to know about this, you're getting Noble Drew Ali's literature. You just get that. That's just what you get. And it's not even at expense. That's free. Because we're not getting, Allah judgment on our temple because we want to play games with what Noble Drew Ali brought. I can't talk for any other temples out there. But our temple, we don't play those games with Noble Drew Ali stuff. Whatever's the profits, yours. We're not Moor Science Temple and we own it and you can't get it because of whatever. That's not how it runs with our temple. All right. Is weed bad or good? Well, the weed that you got that's killing your plants or whatever like that's bad. You got to get rid of those weeds. The weed that you make gummies out of and smoke and cook with, make brownies or whatever like that. Once there's seeds, there's nothing wrong with weed. Nothing wrong with weed. That's a plant. As I say, is lettuce bad or good? Iceberg lettuce, you don't want that. That's GMO lettuce. So you don't want the iceberg stuff. The lettuce ball, you don't want the lettuce ball. Right? Unless you grow that stuff out your own stuff. Right? And then when you talk about weed as well, you also have to consider, if you're not growing it, there's probably some stuff in there. If you're not growing it your own. So there's Moors on here that they grow their own weed. They're not going to no dispensary and all that stuff to get no weed. They just grow their own. Right? Because you can't, there's no you can't do this, you can't do that. This is free will. Right? This is free will. Right? You do whatever you want to do. Once you're not violating any mores, once you're not violating the principles, you should be all right. You should be all right. And like I say, it's when you go to the literature, they say, well, Noble Drew Ali says he doesn't smoke and he doesn't drink, imitate him. Yeah, that's true. He did. But you're not telling some of these Moors who they've been smoking since high school or whatever like that, stop smoking because Noble Drew Ali said. Like, stop the BS. Stop it. You're not just cold turkeying, smoking weed. That's a pastime for some people. For some people, it's a bad habit. For some people, they're stressed the hell out, and that's the only thing that keeps them from shooting this place up. So let these Moors smoke their blunts. Stop it. Right? Can you speak on interracial marriage? When Noble Drew Ali told Moors learn to love instead of hate, right? And he really meant ourself. Noble Drew Ali told the Moors that we do not wish to amalgamate or marry into the pale-skinned nations of Europe, right? But if there's a Moor who, let's say for example, there's a Moor who he was in a dire situation on his deathbed or whatever. And, all the Asiatic males or females in that Moor's life told them, I ain't concerned about him. I wish you die or whatever like that. And then some European is the one who nursed them back to health and made them be right again and all that stuff. Is that Moor supposed to say, well, Noble Drew Ali said we're not supposed to amalgamate and all that stuff when that modern European saved their life? Right? If they love their life and that European saved their life, they're probably going to love this European for doing what no Asiatic did. And then love doesn't discriminate. And we're not supposed to judge people by skin color and all that stuff. Because everybody knows when you trace back majority of these Europeans, they come from some Asiatic. They're amalgamated. So if you love that modern European and they treat you right and they treat you like you want to be treated and you could see yourself not having any issues in your life, if you have this individual that's of some different skin tone than you and is modern European, then I would say follow your heart and don't get caught up in this BS, because then you're going to get some Asiatic and then now you got children with her and then now you got to go to family court and all this stuff. She's stressing you the hell out. You can't see your children and all this stuff like that. And you stay with that European would have gave you the best mother for your children, teaching the children more science and all that stuff. You got this Asiatic telling you that they're not Moors and giving your children pork, taking them to McDonald's and all that stuff. Just because they're Asiatic doesn't mean jack. Right? So yeah, we get it. But me personally, I'm not going with no European. That's just me. You know what I mean? It's not anything to do with anything other than I'm all about the preservation. Right? I want my own. Like, I'm not gonna be with no European, no matter how love and all that stuff, because I wouldn't even go there in the first place. Right? That's just me. But I'm not gonna condemn somebody who in their life, a modern European is who they love. I'm not gonna hate them for that. I know too many Europeans that got better hearts than Asiatics. Too many. I know too many Europeans that I'll say, yeah, I'll ride with that European. I'm gonna call that European when it's time to ride out, before I call this Asiatic. Right? I'm not gonna hate somebody because they have a European as a mate or whatever. Especially if that European's treating them right and they're happy and all that stuff. There's no need for me to play black games hating. There's no need. No need. There's absolutely no need for that. Even though some people are going to go there and, try to make it seem like, oh, the Europeans are the devil and all that stuff. Blue-eyed devils and whatever, but they're never going to tell you that the creator of the Europeans the devil, though. Which is absolutely crazy, right? Yaqub's not a devil, but the thing he created is the devil. And then these people are going to be giving honors to Yaqub and all this for being a scientist and whatever. Full of crap. Full of crap. And again, some people are going to be mad that I even said that. Well, how are you saying that you're going to be a European? Oh my God, you can't. I never said I'm going to be a European. I said I'm not going to condemn somebody who's with a European. Me personally, I'm not going to be with a European. Right? We'll be friends, high five or something like that, but I'm not going there with no European. That's just not my flow. Nothing personal against them. That's just not where I'm at. I wasn't brought up like that. Not even as dumb nigger. I'd be with a European. I mean, like I love my sisters. Like that's where I'm going. I'm not playing the European stuff like that. But I don't hate some Europeans or anything like that. They're people too. Bust their head, blood comes out too. Is reincarnation real? And if not, what happens after life? Well, what you could do is you could just take that barrel right there, put it in your mouth, pull the trigger, and then come back, let us know what happened. And is reincarnation real? If you ask the reincarnated noble Jualis, they'll tell you that that's real. But the only way you're reincarnating is if you come through a womb. You ain't reincarnating as no adult or anything like that. So as far as afterlife, you could chill and wait to see what happens. You could maybe find somebody who saw the light. There was one brother I know who knows a brother who saw the light. And up to this day, the brother who saw the light still doesn't talk to the brother who I know because he brought him back here. And he's still pissed that he brought him back here. So something definitely good happens when you hit the afterlife, because this wasn't some church going, loving, whatever like that. This is street beat people with guns and sold drugs and all that stuff. And he saw the light, and the light was the most amazing thing. The just let's just say he didn't have any issues with where he was going. He didn't have any issues with where he was going. And I can't remember if it was like resuscitation or if like he slapped him or something like that. So something happened that brought him back here. And to this day, man's pissed that he got brought back here. Pissed to this day. And this stuff happened like I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. Still pissed. So afterlife is something to look forward to. But, don't rush. I'm just playing with the barrel in the mouth thing. Because you obviously know you're not going to come back if you pull the trigger, right? So, and then if you take yourself out, I don't know what's going to happen. You might, try to take yourself out. Yeah, I'm going to go to the afterlife. And then take yourself out, end up worse than here. Because you took yourself out and it wasn't natural. So, don't be trying to leave or anything like that, because again, going back to the lessons, going back to the Drew Ali lessons, we're here for a purpose. You got some work to do here if you're here. So do your work that you're here to do, and when you're finished doing your work here, then you'll be taken out of here to go do some work in some other dimension, plane, existence, or whatever. Because it's an interesting subject matter. You could also go through the Buddhist teachings. There's a lot of afterlife stuff in the Buddhist teachings, and in the Hindu teachings. You can get a lot of insight on life after death from the schools of thought dealing with the Hindus and the Buddhists. A lot of good information on the afterlife. Could reincarnation have to do with finding your true self spiritually, nationally, higher self, etc.? Anytime I think about reincarnation, I think about when they show the baby's born, and then they're doing the crying and the baby stuff, and then they get to a little older age, and they start doing their little walking, and they're grabbing at things, and then they get a little older and they start talking and stuff like that, and then they start breaking down stuff to you that you're sitting there like, hold on a second, how does the baby know this stuff? Well, you just came here yesterday. How do you know that you want the cup that granddad used to use? Why you want granddad's cup? Are you granddad back here again or something like that or whatever? So it's possible. It's possible that. But then the other side of it is, what didn't you What didn't you learn that made you have to come back here? You know, like all of us. You know, all of us have had a connection with somebody who said, "Man, I know you. I don't know. I know I met you. This is the first time I'm meeting you in this life, but I know you." And then they say, "You know what? This is the first time I'm meeting you in this life, but I know you." You know, why are you back here? You know, yeah, back here to find yourself spiritually, find your higher self, find your divine mind. You know, go through this BS again because you didn't learn the last time. So there's ample amounts of reasons for the reincarnation, but you know, it's are you going to be is your mind going to be fine-tuned enough to remember why you left or what you left from to be here again? You know, the majority of people, they ain't remember the past life. Like, how do you remember, you know, stuff in this life? You know, you think back to that time in high school or that time in kindergarten, and some stuff is etched in your memory or whatever. You know, majority of people that before this life, they don't know. It's just, you know, you feel something, you know, something is familiar or whatever, but you don't have a specific, yeah, on this date, this time is when I died and then I'm back now, you know. So there's definitely some finding out more if you're back here. There's definitely some finding out more. You're here because you're supposed to learn something that you didn't last time. And, you know, the whole point, I think, with Noble Drew Ali is of the study is that you fill yourself with so much info so that when you get to the next level, you're going to the next level. You're not coming back here because you didn't learn something. You know, but we're definitely here because we had some stuff to figure out. You know, we had some stuff to find out. Most definitely. You know, but I mean, you know, are we a reincarnate of, you know, whoever from back then? Yeah, possibly. Possibly. Who that is, I don't know. I don't know who that is. I haven't tapped in like that to know who I was in the past life and all that stuff, to know why I'm here. You know, but I know, for example, that you know, more science is it. Like, I know this is it. I know I'm at the end of the road because I got here. I know that. You know, so in the sense of what you're asking, are you here to know, you know, spirituality, nationality, or whatever like that? I'm like, yeah, I know I came back here to know about my nationality and birthrights. I know that because it hit like that. You know, this is one of those things in my life that hit. You know, seeing pictures of Noble Drew Ali and studying more science, studying metaphysics, you know, certain things hit. Let me know that, yeah, this is what it's about knowing. This stuff right here. You know, all that other stuff we thought we were knowing, and we thought it was something. That's not it. This is it. So yeah. So, you know, we're on the right path where we are now. Right. We're on the right path right now. And being on this path of, you know, more science and nationality and birthrights and all that, there's a feeling of you know, completeness. There's a feeling of you know, we've made it. You know, it's like when people say they you know, oh my God, and then they're running to take pictures of Michael Jackson and stuff like that. That's how it is with Asir and Obashango and Taj and, you know, Moors. You know what I mean? You see Moors you never met before, but you know, you've been dealing with them online forever, and then you meet them, it's like meeting Jay-Z or something. You know, there's definitely a um, a reclaiming of something, you know, that's absolutely divine. There's a reconnecting of some lost sacred experience, existence that you weren't privy to before until you know, proclaimed your nationality and put on a turban and put on a fez and the energy going through you and putting down your nationality card, and somebody accepts it and they actually, you know, go with what you're saying and all that. You know, there's definitely a resurgence of some old frequency, some old energy that was needed for this life. Right? Why are the Moors so different, yet intertwined with the Black Hebrew Israelite today and in lost and sacred history? The Moors are only so different because of the individuals. Right? The individuals. When I say the individuals, the ego. So a true studious Moor knows that Hebrews are Moors, Israelites are Moors. A true studious Israelite would never say that they're a Moor because they're stuck in their ways. A true studious Moor knows that anybody who calls himself Black is a Moor. A conscious Black would never admit that they're a Moor. They're stuck on their African slave. Right? So there's not a difference. Right? Moors aren't different. As individuals, they're different. You know, one Moor might want to have the dashiki on all the time. Another Moor rather have on a t-shirt and track pants. That doesn't mean that they're not going to relate or they're not Moors when they see each other. No. Moors who are true to what this is know that, you know, anybody who looks like me is my kin. How is that individual looking at it is where the difference comes in. Because majority of Moors, all these Moors in this chat right here, they all know that they're Moors. And there's no debate that we're Moors. Now you might have some Moors that are the Hebraic faith or the Islamic faith, the Buddhists, right? But we all know that we're Moors. There's no discrepancy. It's a fact that we're Moors. And everybody knows that we're Moors. Everybody who studies, at least, knows that we're Moors. Even dirty Moors know that they're Moors. The issue is a lot of individuals are stuck in their brainwash and refuse to get out of it. The ones who study, the ones who are studious, they can go into any room with anybody. Bunch of atheists, they can go in a room and there's not going to be any issues. They can go into a room of hardened criminals, and there's not going to be any issues. They're going to find a common ground to be able to relate to anybody. The studious Moors. And we know that the Moors are the founders of civilization. So whatever the Moor says is really what it is. Like that's really what it is. As soon as they start talking about Hebrew, NOI, Black Power, Rasta, and all that stuff, and not Moors, that's the problem. That's the problem. So don't look at it as, oh, well, I was online and then I saw these Moors, and then those Moors were saying that those Moors aren't in the temple, and then those Moors aren't in the. No, don't use that as a reference. You use yourself as a reference. Where are you at? Are you different than all these other Moors? No, I'm same as all right. So once you realize that you are who you are as a Moor, as soon as you engage somebody else, where are they at? Are they putting aside their little childish stuff and seeing you as their brother or sister, and then trying to do something as Moors? Or they want to nitpick, you smoke weed? Oh, you're not a real Moor because you smoke weed. I don't smoke weed. So, all right. My next question. If we are Moors and this is our land, shouldn't we be able to exercise our rights freely? How can we exercise our rights without issues? And what is the remedy if our rights are violated? If we are no more, should we be able to exercise our rights freely? We should be able to exercise our rights freely. We should be able to do that. But let's take the emotionalism and the feelings and all that stuff out the way, and let's look at the reality, right? Oh, because they also asked about my take on the Israeli-Palestine conflict, and that's relative to this same question about the rights and the exercising of the rights, right? So let's look at let's use that as the example with this question about the rights, right? People have been picketing, marching, going to the office of the whoever, free Palestine or whatever for years. For years they've been doing this, and the Zionists keep encroaching, marching, picketing. People's houses getting bulldozed, killing children, killing women, killing fathers. Keep encroaching. Where we're at right now in the current state of affairs throughout the world is directly due to the Negro, Black, colored people in the Americas who abandoned and denied their prophet who brought them their salvation so that we can exercise these free rights, since we abandoned, now everybody's rights are getting violated, including Moors. But then when we go to the oral statements, Juali told Moors that even some of the good Moors' coattails are going to get burned. Even some of the good Moors are going to go through some violations. Not because, they did something wrong or whatever the case is, but this is the climate. This is where it is right now. Right? This is where it is. A house that used to be, 50,000 is now 1 million. People who used to be comfortable are now, back against the wall fighting for their life. So yes, this is our land. It's always going to be our land. Just like that's always going to be Canaan over there. Right? It's always going to be the Holy Land. So it's always going to be. Nothing's going to stop that. It's always going to be that. But if the Zionists take over, which, all they got to do is get Gaza now, and they pretty much took over because they run over there. They remove Palestinians, bulldozing their homes and stuff like that, so that they can have that land, right? They don't have any remedy. Their house just got bulldozed. You think they're going to some court to sue somebody or something like that? Same thing with us over here. You think some Moors over here are going to get violated, and then you're going to go to some court and file some suit where the same colonists that just violated you is sitting on the bench, ready to hear your case? You know how many Moors stuff got thrown out? They had legitimate cases. And then people are going to say, well, then if that's the case, then why should I be a Moor? Well, being a Moor doesn't have to do with going to court or exercising rights or whatever. It has to do with knowing the truth about your nationality and your birthrights. It starts with knowing. Our people have been so damaged that we wanna exercise stuff all the time, because we think that exercising something means that I'm being it. No, that doesn't mean being it. You can't exercise what you don't know. And if we've been Negro, black, colored for 30 years, and you think in the 32nd year you're going to exercise some rights and get some freedoms, you're very mistaken. This is just the reality of where it's at. It's not personal. It's not you don't have the rights or the rights don't exist. It's that we've been under occupation. And due to our occupation, the occupiers have socially engineered society. The occupiers have convinced our people going to their school is the most important thing, and not having our own school is the least important thing, when it should be the other way around. So when Noble Drew Ali said every temple should have a school in the 1920s, and then you go to the temple today and they're singing hymns, that's part of our problem that has now spread throughout the world. Because everything is the nucleus of what's going on with the Moors in America is what's going to happen to the rest of the world. Which is why Noble Drew Ali stressed the importance of uplifting fallen humanity, to get humanity on the side of righteousness. Because if they're not on the side of righteousness, they're done for. And then if you ask the Moors who are righteous, like again, for example, right? We're talking about exercise our rights freely and all that stuff. Everybody wants to exercise right to travel. Everybody wants to exercise right to not pay taxes. Nobody wants to exercise the right being a good human being. How about exercise that right? So we know Moors who, instead of exercising right to travel, they exercise the right to being a good human being, being a good parent, being a good son, being a good daughter, right? That's the rights that they chose to exercise. Yeah, we got right to travel and right to locomotion and right to do this and that, exercise and whatever. But that's not where their focus was. Their focus was, I have a right to make sure my heir does not be Negro, black, colored. Now, all they get is phone calls from teachers praising their children. Now, would you rather that, or would you rather be able to go out there in your conveyance and not get stopped by highwaymen? Which one do you want? You got to pick one. You're not having both. Either go out there, exercise your right to travel. You can go anywhere that you want, or get calls from your child's, heirs, children's teacher that, you know what? Little Bay, he got all A's this year and last year and the year before that. Which one would you want? Would you want to exercise your right to not pay taxes? Remember, you got to pick one. Or would you want your grandma to give you the 40 acres that's in the family and the 2 houses that's on it? You got to pick one. Which one you want? Just because when grandma was on her deathbed and all that stuff, you were the one that went to go visit her because you're a conscious, competent, loving Moor. But all the other family members, oh my grandma, she's a bitch and all that stuff. I ain't going over there or whatever like that. You know, you were the one over there helping her go to the washroom, wiping her after, washing her, feeding her when she's hungry. Everybody else in the family dissing grandma. You're not going to go see that old wench. I remember when I was 6 and she beat me with that switch. I can't stand that lady. Grandma transitioned and gave you the key to the mansion that nobody knew that she had. Or you can go and not pay taxes anywhere. Anywhere that you go, just put down your nationality card. They're not going to ask you any questions. You don't pay taxes. Which one do you want? Right? So when we say this is our land, we should exercise our right. We should be able to exercise our rights freely. Well, what rights are you talking about? You talking about some frivolous rights that mean nothing? Or are you talking about concrete, absolute rights that are the foundation of our existence? Moors had the right to tell these Europeans, we're not teaching you jack. You go back to the caves or whatever like that. We're not teaching you how to clean yourself up and all that. We're not teaching you irrigation. What are we teaching you that for? People are heathens. The Moors didn't do that. They gave to the world. They gave to humanity. They exercised their right to have knowledge of self. They exercised their right to be gods on the earth. They didn't want to exercise right to travel. That wasn't their concern. And that wasn't their concern. The whole exercising of and then they start pointing at these specific rights, and it's probably like 5 of them, and then everybody wants to exercise these 5 rights, but nobody wants to exercise the right to love instead of hate. Right? Heart full of hatred, but they can show a nationality card instead of a license. Right. How did the Asians with chinky eyes come to being, and are they different than Latinos and Caucasians and Pakistanis? There's a good movie called The Gods Must Be Crazy. And then look at the indigenous people in The Gods Must Be Crazy and ask yourself, hey, how come those people look like Chinese, but they're not Chinese? And then go do your research on the Aboriginals in America, and then you're going to see people who look like Olmecs, and then you're going to see the people who look like Hindus. And then they got Chinese eyes too. But they got dark skin. They're not looking like no red Indians or whatever. They got dark skin with some straight hair and some chinky eyes. Now I say, hey, hold on a second. How come those guys look like Chinese, but they're not Chinese, they're over here? Then you realize that it's all the same people. It's all the same people. The Latinos, the Pakistanis, the Caucasians, all of them came from that one Moabite womb. And then once you realize that everybody comes from the Moabite womb, you stop playing this craziness about all this different stuff all the time. Different this and different that. It ain't different anything. Everybody's part of the human family. What nationality are you in the human family? You're a Pakistani nationality? Okay. Then you got a certain phenotype. You're a Caucasian nationality? Oh, you got a certain phenotype. But everybody comes from the one great goddess, the Moabite woman. Everyone comes from her. Everyone. Because remember, even Yaqub, had to use the Moabite womb to bring the Frankenstein here. You need a womb if you're going to bring a living being here. Whether it's an animal womb, birth bag, you probably need the feminine principle if you're going to bring anything here. Oh, and then you could also go look up, there's some lectures on YouTube by Bobby Hemmett called Human Artificial. Go watch those and get your mind blown. Human Artificial by Bobby Hemmett. You start realizing how much games people have been playing with our minds forever. Then the only reason that our minds getting played with is because we don't know the truth. We've been socially engineered. We've been socially engineered. Our thinking was created. It's not our organic way of using our mental faculties. Our brains have been trained to work, which is again why Noble Drew Ali said study, 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 so you can get your mind out of the conditioning that it's been subjected to. Because studying is going to do that. Studying is going to open your mind to new realities that maybe you never considered. Because again, the social conditioning has us in a particular mindset. And the pinnacle of that mindset is us thinking that we're the lowest form of people on the planet, and all we get is the worst stuff. We can't exercise our rights, and everybody else can't exercise their rights. And how are we gonna exercise our rights? We should. This is our land. We should be able to exercise our rights. That's victim stuff. But if you don't know what your rights are, then of course you're gonna cry about some little frivolous stuff that you're not able to do. Oh, and then with regard to the who are the Chinese and all that stuff, you could also go watch the documentary Africans in Asia by Eugene Adams. That should be on YouTube too. And then let that get your mind blown when they start showing you all these temples in China and all that, pyramids in China, all these temples in China with Olmec heads on them with shiny eyes, not the big eyes that you see over here. Right? Looking just like an Olmec head, but Chinese eyes. They're looking exactly like an Olmec head. The big lips, big nose, and all that stuff. But instead of the big round eyes that you see on the Olmec heads, you got Asian eyes. Realize how far these people took us mentally from what the foundation and the truth is. It's unfortunate, but it's the reality. It's the reality. But it's not to be mad about. You don't gotta be mad. You don't gotta be upset. You don't have to be upset. You just have to accept it. Once a Moor proclaims their nationality within a temple, does the Moor have to join the temple to keep their nationality? Can the Moor proclaim and not join the temple and still move as a Moor? So that's going back to what we were saying with going and checking these temples. So you go to the temple and you proclaim your nationality through the temple, right? And then you leave the temple, and then some issue pops up. Whatever the issue is, I don't know. Let's say you want to go buy something. You want to go buy something, and they say, well, in order for us to give you the taxes off, we need a letter from, your nation to prove that you're indigenous so we can give you taxes off. No, all right, no problem. Just go to the temple and get that. And then you go to the temple, and then they're ring around the rosy with you in order for you to get this letter to prove your indigenous status so you can get your whatever it is that you're going to buy. Right? Because you have a card from them. So, you're going to give the card to whoever, and then they're going to look at it and say, oh, this is the card from, okay, well, we need proof. We're not just going with you giving us a card. We need some proof from the people who gave you this card that you're actually who you say you are. And then you go back there, and then it took you 5 years to get this letter for you to buy whatever. Then you realize that the temple that you went to was full of BS, right? Now, so many people had that situation or those situations happen to them, which is why they went outside the temple to go proclaim their nationality and do some other way instead of going through the temple. Right? Now, that's not because temple is wrong, or that's not because, Noble Drew Ali didn't do something right or whatever. That had to do with those specific individuals in that specific temple that was playing own the nationality games with Moors, instead of just giving them their stuff, right? So when we proclaim our nationality, that's yours. The temple is just the venue for you to do that. Right? The temple is just the venue. for you to go and proclaim your nationality through, but you're the one proclaiming it. I, Kudro Adwa El, right? And then they'll read you what's on the nationality card. Then the secretary is going to write down your appellation, and then they give you your card, and then now you're it. Now, if you're talking about outside of the temple and exercising as that, you might have that issue where somebody wants to verify. Well, I want to know that you really are who you say you are, because this card that you're giving me, it doesn't have a picture on it, doesn't have a date of birth, doesn't have a signature, it doesn't have anything relative to what identification has right now. So let's verify you. Or you go to some Moors who have a higher level of thinking, and they said, well, it's not just about cards, because these people are criminals. You gotta let them know who you are. Right? If the temple burned down, that nationalized you, were you not a Moor because the temple burned down? If the Grand Sheik stopped being a Grand Sheik, and he's the one who signed your sheikdom certificate, that means that you're not that, because that's not, because it's a birthright. So if it's a birthright, there's a certain level of ownership, there's a certain level of responsibility the Moor has to take with regard to their affairs. Which is why it's a known fact that your thumbprint could be used as a seal. And it would be accepted as such. You have some issue and you write your writ. You don't have to have witnesses. You would autograph that yourself, put your thumbprint on it, and send in whatever you got to send in. So again, we're looking at the landscape that we're in today. Yes, it would be amazing if you could just go to the temple and get everything done that's supposed to be done and not have any issues. Majority of people, they go to the temple, these people are playing church with them, unfortunately. Right? Unfortunately. So, Moors were playing church in the 1940s, which is why CMB put his stuff in the Library of Congress. Right? And then you can go Library of Congress, go get your nationality card. You'll go to the Library of Congress and get your constitution. Because Moors were playing games after Noble Drew Ali transitioned. Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs giving out identification cards, because giving out judicial proclamation, name correction, because Moor Science Temple of America was playing games in the 1980s, 1990s, playing religious games with the birthright. So yeah, if there's a temple that you can do it through, most definite, do it through the temple. But whether you're part of a temple or not, that doesn't take away whether you're a Moor or not. Right? The temple can't take away your nationality. Temple can't say, oh, well, That's our nationality that we gave to you. No, it's not. The nationality is a birthright. The nationality is a birthright. And the birthright is the people's. It's their birthright. It's not the temple's. The temple is just the venue for you to learn the truth about your nationality and your birthrights. So what should be happening is that people are supposed to be going to the temple. Right? People are supposed to be going to the temple, and then when they go to the temple, they learn the truth about their nationality and their birthrights. And then once they learn the truth about their nationality and birthrights, then they go proclaim their nationality. Right? People want to put the cart before the horse. You can't put the cart before the horse. Right? You can't put the cart before the horse. You're supposed to know the truth about your nationality and your birthrights first. And then when you know the truth about your nationality and birthrights, then you decide on proclaiming your nationality. People want to go proclaim their nationality without knowing the truth about their nationality and birthrights, and then want to go out there exercising their nationality and birthrights that they know nothing of. And then get injured and then want to get remedy when they shouldn't have been out there exercising in the first place because you don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Shouldn't be talking about exercising rights. They even read Moorish literature. They want to exercise rights. They don't even know Noble Drew Ali. But some Moor told them, in the temple too. Some Moor in the temple told them, oh, nah, yeah, you got rights. You could do this and you could do that. And send these people out there and get their ass beat. And then complaining after that they got their ass beat. When they only got their ass beat because they didn't know the truth about their nationality and birthrights. They didn't know the truth about it. So because they didn't know the truth about it, then you get tested. And again, there's temples out there that are legit. There's temples out there that are doing good work for the upliftment of our people. Right? There are temples that are doing good work. You know, you have to seek them out. Trial and error. Once you seek them out, once you try, and you realize that, yes, these Moors are not because somebody told you, but because you went and you experienced it for yourself to know that these Moors are legit. These Moors are on the straight and narrow, and I want to be affiliated with these Moors. Now, you don't do no promo for our temple like that. People want to know about their nationality and birthrights. They look up the temple. The address is right there. Phone number is right there. They call, leave a message. Call them back. Let them know, yeah, this is the day that we meet. Come on by. You know? We've been there, done that. Promoting and all that stuff and giving out flyers and all that stuff. Stuff end up in the garbage. People don't want to know about truth about their nationality and birthrights. People don't want to know. Right? Only the two in the back want to know. Right? And again, there's many Moors who know the truth about their nationality and birthrights. There's many Moors who study. Temple didn't teach them anything. They went and studied on their own. Even with our temple's not going to teach you everything. Not teaching you everything about your nationality and birthrights. There's not enough time in the day for that. There's not enough time in the temple session, in the temple meeting for that. That's for sure. So Moors who really want to know, they're going to take it on themselves and they're going to go study and they're going to go do research. You think all those Moors who had businesses during Noble Drew Ali's time, they learned that in the temple? They didn't learn that in the temple. They learned and brought what they learned to the temple. You see convention picture and all those Moors that are in the convention picture. You think all those Moors are studying like how Moors study today? Yeah, right. If they were, stuff wouldn't have went messed up with the temple if they were studying how they're claiming. Noble Drew Ali this and Noble Drew Ali that. They weren't studying how Moors are studying today. It's guaranteed. Moors today aren't letting traders slide with playing games with Drew Ali. Moors today ain't letting traders slide. Those Moors are arrested and let traders do everything. Chase Noble Drew Ali with a knife, all types of madness. That Moors called themselves reincarnated Noble Drew Ali. Nobody put a bottle to these people's head and told them get the hell out of here. The lecture is by Eugene Adams and it's called Africans in Asia. Africans in Asia. Should be on YouTube. I know it's on YouTube because it was VHS, so it's kind of scratchy and stuff like that. As far as the visual, but it makes the point. All right, so Eugene Adams is who did the documentary on Africans in Asia. Let's see what other questions they have here. So again, if the questions weren't clear or you need more, just ask your question in the chat. That's what today is for. All right. Are the terms American, Indian, Native American, Indigenous, Original, Aboriginal nationalities? No, they're not nationalities. None of those are nationalities. None of those are nationalities. African, Indian, Native American, Indigenous, Original, Aboriginal. Those aren't nationalities. Those aren't nations. Those are just tags. Nationality ties you to a land. Nationality ties you to a culture. Nationality ties you to ancient foremothers and forefathers who also knew who they were. Are people who identify themselves as black stateless? So first of all, yes. People who identify themselves as black are stateless because just like Native American, Indigenous, Original, Aboriginal, Indian, American. Black is not a nationality. So people who don't have nationalities are stateless. People who don't have a nationality are nationless. People who don't have a nationality are not respected by the human family, not respected by the world. Again, going back to the Palestine stuff, because all those people calling themselves Palestinian are Canaanites. They should be calling themselves Canaanites, which the modern name for Canaanites, Moabites, Hittites, and all those are Muslims or Moors. But they're going to say that they're Muslims and all that stuff, which puts them under the jurisdiction of being somebody's ward. And then there ain't no Israelis. There's Israelites. There ain't no Israelis. Israelis are fiction. Israelis are Zionists. Those are people from Ashkenaz, Khazars. They're not quote unquote Jews. Woe unto those that call themselves Jew and are not. Woe unto them. Why? Because they're Zionists. And that's not a nationality either. Why do people who refer to themselves as black say nationality doesn't matter? It just gets you put in jail. Because there's so much propaganda that's put out on Moorish nationality by trolls of the Moorish paradigm. You know, they want to find, hunt down, look for all the negative situations that Moors have put into the public arena, take snippets of those and put those out as, you know, oh, look, see, if you're a Moor, this is what happens to you, or whatever the case is. And because Negro, black, colored people, or people who refer to themselves as black, because they don't have any national pride, or they don't even know what nationality is, they're going to go by what their master says, which majority of these people who are trolling the Moors are modern Europeans who don't want to go back to Europe. They want to stay in America, in the land of milk and honey. And the only way they can do that is to convince all the Negro, black, colored people to stay Negro, black, colored people and not be Moors. Because if all the Negro, black, colored people start saying that they're Moors, then all the modern European people who are claiming to be American because they were born in the United States or whatever, they would have to stop being American, because they can't be American if the Moorish Americans are standing up for being the Americans. So the only way that they can stay here is by allowing the Negro, black, colored people to be convinced that being a Moor or having a Moorish nationality or knowing about your Moorish culture is only going to get you in jail, you know, so which is a deterrent to get them to not be on the side of nationality. But then, you know, when you deal with all these modern Europeans in America, all of them got nationalities, and they know that they came over here on Mayflowers and went to Ellis Island and all that stuff in order to be here, which means that they're foreigners. They're not really from over here. And since they're not from over here, they really don't have any jurisdiction over the indigenous people. The only reason they have jurisdiction over the indigenous people is because the indigenous people want to be Negro, black, colored people, or stateless, or wards, and every ward needs a warden. And every state is a prison. And every province is a prison. And every city is a prison. And the mayor is the warden of the city. And the premier is the warden of the province. And the prime minister and president is the warden of the country that all these Negro, black, colored people are claiming that they're part of. And that's who they are. And you can't tell them anything. So Europeans sitting back, fat in the king's throne, you know, eating these people's babies that they give to them. because the condition of the child is the condition of the mother. So if these people are claiming that they're African slaves and all that stuff, then the children are African slaves too and are property too. Which is why when you check the records of the child services, whatever, and how many children are taken and all that stuff, you see that the high numbers in the Asiatic families where children are taken, and then the low numbers in the Europeans because they're not playing that stuff. So the only reason they say nationality doesn't matter is because they don't know what it is, because they never looked it up to see. And two, because they're claiming to be something that they're not, which gives the European jurisdiction over them. And three, you have these trolls out here whose duty, that's why we tell Moors, stop uploading your BS to the internet. Upload the good stuff that you do. Don't upload highwaymen beat your ass. Why are you gonna upload that highwaymen beat your ass on YouTube? Well, because then I have evidence that they're criminals. They've been killing water for hundreds of years. What do you mean they're criminals? What do you mean you need evidence? They've been killing wildlife for years. They've been killing forests for years. Right now, they're killing the Amazon right now. What more evidence you want that these people are criminals? Right now, they're killing trees right now. So we go uploading your BS, getting your ass kicked by a highwayman. That you know the trolls are gonna take it, snip it up. You know what I mean? Take out all the good stuff that you said, put all the BS in there, and then upload it, get 50 million views, make finance off your ass getting kicked, and then you're not gonna sue these people for putting your image out there. You want to sue some highwayman? Why don't you see these people uploading your video making millions of you getting your ass kicked? How about sue them? Never thought about that, did you? You ever thought about suing these people, taking snippets of your video, you getting arrested? Get their page shut down, report their video or something like that? So don't go there. If you're going to record yourself, record the good stuff that you do. Upload that. Don't give these people ammo to use against the Moors. Have the Negroes thinking that the Moors don't know what they're doing and all this stuff. And then, you know, all the righteous doing good Moors who's just doing it out of the goodness of their heart. They're not recording jack or whatever. Nobody has any evidence of their stuff. Then they say, well, those Moors should be uploading the good stuff. No, why? That ain't nobody's business that they're being righteous. Ain't nobody's business. Why should they upload stuff? It's the dummies who's uploading the negative stuff that's the problem. Giving these people ammo. Yeah, and since the highwaymen have the body cam and all that stuff, then why don't you just subpoena them to give up their body cam video? Well, because the highwaymen, they're not gonna do. Oh, so isn't that proof that they're criminal? If they're gonna beat your ass on video and then not give you the proof of them beating your ass on video for you to go sue them, then that means they're criminal, right? Because what did they tell you? Oh, I'm recording it for my safety and yours. Isn't that what they say? Well, how come when it's time for it to be yours, you can't get it? Yeah, we know. We know. You're 100 years behind. That's why stuff is messed up. It's not because stuff doesn't work. It's because you've been Negro black colored for 40 years. Now 2 years you're a Moor, and you're talking about you got some rights or something like that. You know, played ourselves. Is there a difference between a temple Moor and a proclaimed Moor? A temple Moor is supposed to be a proclaimed Moor. And going back again to what the question earlier, whether you're in a temple, whether you're not in a temple, you're a Moor. Whether you're in a temple or whether you're not in a temple, you're a Moor. So when you hear, well, the temple Moors, as soon as you hear that, know that you're dealing with Moors who are on the religious side of this, who are on the dogmatic, this is Moorish church side. And they want you to think that, you know, being a temple Moor means that you're a legit Moor. No, it doesn't. Every Moor should be part of a temple. But that doesn't make them a temple Moor because they're a part of a temple. Right? Everybody that's part of the church is a church man. I'm a church man. And you're not in the church, so you're not a church man. You don't talk like that. I'm a mosque Muslim. I mean, those are not mosque Muslims over there because they don't come to the mosque and pray. They pray at home. They're not mosque Muslims. It's a game. That's some people in the temple like to play. Temple Moor, whatever. Those are the people who want you to carry your fez in the temple in a bag and all that stuff. And then when you leave the temple, take your fez off and all that. Playing temple games. So the temple Moor is a proclaimed Moor. And a proclaimed Moor should be part of the temple. There's temples out there. Go be part of one. Every Moor who says, I'm a Moorish American, I have a nationality, should be part of a temple. And then whatever it is that they have, they should bring it to the temple to assist that temple in carrying on the works of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. How do you know that America is Morocco? It's not how do we know? That's known. Everybody knows that America is Morocco. The only people who don't know are the people who keep calling Morocco Canada and the United States and calling themselves black. Those are the only ones who don't know that America is Morocco. Anybody else who I've asked, hey, is America Morocco? They know that America is Morocco. Any other nation, anybody with a nationality knows that there's a relationship between America and Morocco. And we're not talking about some U.S. corporation or whatever like that. We're talking about the continent of America and Morocco. There's a tie there. There's a geographical connection. One way of the geographical connection is printing out a map, cutting out all the continents and sticking them all together without the oceans. And then you'll see Morocco is right where North America is. So America is Morocco. Another way is with the language. Because when you look up Morocco, the farthest west, look up Morocco, the farthest west, you're going to see that Morocco, that they say is the farthest west, that's not the farthest west. There's further west than that. So they're going to call it Maghreb Al-Aqsa. And then you're going to look up, and then they're Maghreb Al-Awsat. And that's central Morocco. And Maghreb Al-Adna. So if Morocco on the continent of Africa is the farthest west, but then there's landmass still west of that, which is the Americas, then obviously Morocco on the continent isn't the farthest west if there's more land west of that. There's more land west of that. And then if Morocco only came about in 1956, the Kingdom of Morocco over there, then what Morocco are they talking about in the Treaty of Peace and Friendship? Because remember, there was no Morocco until 1956 in the kingdom. So what Morocco are they talking about? They're talking about the empire. They're talking about the Moroccan Empire. And the Moroccan Empire expands from over there to over here. Again, this is why Noble Drew Ali told Moors, why are you Moorish American? Because you're descendants of Moroccans born in America. Where's Morocco? Morocco wasn't even the kingdom in 1900s when Noble Drew Ali was around. So he said descendants of Moroccans. What's he talking about? He's talking about your descendants of across the Atlantic Ocean born in America? Stop it. Stop it. Doesn't even make sense when you use your common sense. Use your common sense, it doesn't make sense. America has to be Morocco, on top of other places as well. Because if the Mississippi River is the Nile River of the Americas, then the Nile River of the Americas. So the Mississippi is the Nile River of the Americas, but the Nile isn't the Mississippi of, then obviously somebody's been playing games with you. Honors to all the Moors. Don't forget, it's Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. RV Bay Presentments. Welcome to the meeting. Every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Just go to the rvbaypublications.com homepage and get all the information of everything going on that you need to know that's happening outside of the temple. Then you can go to Grand Sheik Nature, MoorishTrucking.com, find out what's going on with his temple. You'll go to MoorishAmericans.org to find out what's going on with that temple. You can go to Supreme Grand Sheik Kenyu Umar Bey in Mecca for that temple. Canaanland Moors, the only legitimate temple in the jurisdiction of so-called Canada. Anybody else claiming anything out here other than Moorish Science Temple is a fraud and shouldn't be trusted. Because anybody near the jurisdiction of Canada claiming Moorish anything should be part of the first Moorish Science Temple that's here. If they're not, they're probably a trader and a sellout who were part of our temple and left to go do some whatever. You know, get all the information that they can. Now they're the man. Don't trust them. Right? Study, study, study. Honors to all the Moors in the chat. Honors to all the Moors who asked their questions. Keep sending it out. Keep sending them out. Let them know that on Wednesdays you can get your questions answered for free. You know, no cash app needed or anything like that. All you need is your time. All you need is your time. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Supreme honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Noble Drew Ali is the mastermind. Noble Drew Ali is the mastermind. He did a wondrous works for us. And all we have to do is carry on that work. And carry on that work under the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And we're definitely going to make it through. Honors to all the mothers out there. Honors to all the great parents teaching their children the truth about their birthrights so they don't end up niggers. Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. Study, study, study. Oh yeah, and don't forget, if you haven't yet, make sure you go get Brother Kush Day's book on khalifamedia.com and go get all Cujo L's book and go get all the other Moors on there's books. Because the Moors are not doing it for their selfish self, but they're doing it for you to know the truth about your nationality and your birthrights. Give thanks, Moors. Supreme honors to you all. Peace and love. Islam.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law may civil of a lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Salt Bay, rapping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J, Israel. And Noble Drew Ali in plain sight, but people still can't see it, so the snake's still showing up. Stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for light, the book of Genesis. Astroplane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life. Finish him.
Norris Omar, key man or oracle. Using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical. Lost and metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic. Facts slap a dirty Moor or a Drew Ali critic. Calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved. Or cut like a close shave. Drowned in my brainwaves, squashed by heat waves. Activating Kundalini. Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini. Selassie I in exile. Reptile in Genesis, Negus appearing real. All I see is false evidence. DA are feminists, stomped on by elephants. More like we're prejudiced but want Moorish benefits. When you feel the pole magnetic resonance, apis horns of the sacred book are maleficent. Great cosmic mothers, return to blessedness, no pestilence. Ace all the testaments, tap into remembrance, never to forget again. Use energy right, not put spell effects on men. Wandering the earth plane with no veil of shades, keeps you a mental slave as the horizon fades. It's been decades since Christian crusades, not enough rebellions, too many vigil bouquets. Holding on to the fence, burning on doomsday. War ruled by Mars, it might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quickie. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?
This is what it feels like. 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 People running up to me that I don't know. Are you a prince? They ask, tell them I'm from Morocco. Look me up and down with a smile, not a frown. Turn their brain to water, watch the lower self drown. Wanna touch my antennas and steal my energy. Eyes bulge, telling them I'm always King Edward V. When it comes to facts, with Moors they get beggarly. They ask Morocco where? The farthest northwesterly. With every question asked, I respond cleverly. All dependents won't explain expertly. Going in their wallets, pull out pictures with feathers, breaking down the ring, then the mason confesses. He's at 33 degrees, now the combo stretches like yoga into esoteric metaphysic lessons. When my people aren't like me, he impresses. When we take Moorish science to the highways and hedges. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
They tried to get you to think again. That's the profit. I'm upright, don't need a friend. And you can't stop this. I'ma write with my pen. Violate me and I'ma send writs again. Remain cautious, cause often they sin again. That's in the police out, just the silence men. When they bust through your door, you won't breathe again. Nationality will show you how to live again. It can change the predicament you're living in. You can heal the whole world without medicine. Only truth can make you a better man. Why lie? Cause you got paid to murder men. Then you try to lock them up when they riot in. That's okay, cause for freedom I'm diving in. With no knowledge, you come back to die again. Resurrect me not, cause I'd rather be one with Allah.
This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.